starting this new series. I'm taking a break from everything, and I have this amazing book that I'm writing with so much knowledge in. And whatever topic I write about that day, I'll be making a video on it too. As you can see, let me show you the book. This will be the intro to every single video. Y'all like if y'all love this content, subscribe to the channel, share it out to people. And welcome to the Book of Life series, where we just talk about life and how you should handle it. Now, the first thing we'll be talking about today is the shadow self. For those wondering and you don't know who the shadow self is on that dark side of you, I'm about to break it down for you. The shadow is the dark side of our personality because it consists of negative human emotions and impulses like rage, envy, greed, desire, and the strive for power. I'm reading this all from my book right now, just in case y'all wonder why I'm not looking at the screen. All we deny in ourselves become a part of our shadow. So you may ask, how is the shadow born? Every young child knows kindness, love, but they also express anger and greed. As we grow up, something happens. Traits associated with being good are accepted, while others associated with being bad are rejected. As a child, we express certain parts of ourselves. We received negative cues from our own environment. Maybe we got angry. Our parents sent us to our room. Or we act silly in class, like being one of those class clowns, and the teacher just shamed you in front of everyone and called you out in class. Now, we all have basic needs as a human, and whenever something like this happens to us, it threatens one of our own basic needs. So basically, what I'm trying to say is that whenever somebody tries to control you and try to put down a side of you, that's like you putting down that side of yourself because it's not accepted in your environment. And this is very negative, and most of us have grew up like this and around this environment. People try to make us normal, and none of us are born to be normal. We are supposed to stand out, and we are all unique in our own ways. When a person tries to make you fit in the same box as everyone, you don't grow up right, and you develop a shadow self. As we grow up, we adjust our behavior to gratify our needs and learn to adapt to the external world. All of our unaccepted and discouraged parts of ourselves in our first few years of our lives are bundled together and swept out of view. This is what creates your shadow self. The child puts all of these unwanted parts into an invisible bag and drags it behind him. The ancient Greeks understood the need to honor all parts of the psyche. For them, these parts were worshipped as gods. The Greeks knew a god you ignored became the one who turned against you or tried to destroy you. Any part we disown within us turns against us. The personal shadow represents a collection of all these disowned parts. So here's the problem with everything dealing with the shadow. The shadow can operate on its own without your full awareness. It's as if our own conscious self goes on autopilot while the unconscious assumes control. So this is a quote that I made up a few weeks ago. It was like, sometimes you got to understand when you're talking to the actual person or you're talking to their own inner demons, because that person doesn't understand when their inner demons come out. When I talk about inner demons, I am talking about the shadow self. So a lot of people don't know when their shadow self is speaking or when it's them speaking. So always pay attention to that. We do things we later regret. We say things we wouldn't say. Remaining unconscious of the shadow hurts our relationships with our spouses, family, and friends. So if you're dealing with so this is the main reason why many relationships fall out, is because that person has their own shadows that they don't even know about, that they're even scared to face. So these shadows take hold of like their reality, and it ends up messing up so many things in their lives. And what happens when you repress your own shadow? Let's go over that. Whatever qualities we deny in ourselves, we see in others. Your reality is just a mere reflection of your own inner self. For example, this is a great one, listen up. You get mad when someone is rude to you. It's a good bet you haven't owned up to your own rudeness. This doesn't mean that the person isn't being rude to you. However, if rudeness wasn't in your own shadow self, someone else's rudeness wouldn't bother you so much. And I resonate with that a lot. I could take a whole lot of like people hate on me and stuff, and it doesn't bother me. Their negative vibes cannot affect my positive aura anymore, because I've dealt in my shadow self. I know who I truly am. I've became one with that dark side of me. Our egos use this mechanism to defend itself, to defend how it perceives itself. Our false identities of being good keep us from connecting with our shadow. Now, in this world we live in, they want you to be normal and good, and going back to your shadow self is not considered good or normal. So we are disconnected from our shadow self, and this is the whole reason why the world is at the state where it is right now, while everybody's mental is messed up. They don't know how to become one with their shadow selves anymore, the part of themselves. So nobody is truly themselves. They're all living this fake identity that their ego made up. You feel? I'm going to end the video on this quote, so thank y'all for watching, but it's a great quote. Listen up. Unless we do conscious work on it, the shadow is almost always projected. That is, it is nearly laid on someone or something else, so we do not have to take responsibility for it. Take responsibility for yourself and work on yourself, please.